Well, from here on in, it's going to get a bit boggy, very muddy. I think I might put some wet gear on. There's a shortcut I can take, but I'm going to need some traction on my feet. Hopefully I bought some traction chains with me, but I'm not too sure. For snow chains for your feet, live in a little pack like this on the side of my bag. Meant for snow, great for mud, because I've got quite a steep incline and I don't want to be falling over. That's one, and it kind of look like that, just chains for your feet. Now whether I'm going to put a pair of waterproof pants on as well, but ideally I would want to keep mud off the bottom of my pants. I don't want them getting wet for tonight, but I can always take them off and dry them. Oh, thirst on me. Then we'll go up to the ridge and test out the Onetigris quilts, and I do say quilts in the plural. I have two. Winter, summer, they're both on the same hammock at the same time. And I want to winter test them, because if it doesn't work at 6 degrees, it's not going to work in the winter. Oh, that worked well. No slipping on where I know is wet and muddy. Bottom of my pants, well, that's life. And that's his life. Right, these can come off now. Oh, cream crackered, but we're here. I need to stake out the area, find out if it's safe, what has changed, any widow makers, all the usual. This one here in the middle is one I always worry about the most. Got probably 3/4 of an hour left before it goes totally dark. Got sun dogs out, and I don't think this camera's picking them up. Got one there and one there. Up there we've got the bullocks, and that's where the trough is if I need to get or replenish water tonight or in the morning. You can see it just there on the ridge. It's actually quite a walk. I'm zoomed in quite a lot. The badger set is right in there, so I don't want to get too close, but I'm going to check for scat anyway. But it looks pretty free of badger scat to me. And I can't even see a track laid down by them as I did last year, but I know they're about. Looks like that den has been smashed apart. Not the work of a badger. And I want to also look out if the farmer has baited anywhere as well, because I don't want to get poisoned. So there's nothing baited around the bottom of the trees, and the fact that there is no clear sign or trail of badger probably means I've got this dingle all to myself tonight. Just 20 minutes before I came out, I changed the pack. So I have all the food I need and all the catering facility here on top of the Bergen. Nice little GU Bergen. Soldiers don't like them, but I find it's okay for this kind of camping, and there's a reason why, which I'll go into later. Tarp here is on the front, along with them leggings for waterproof insulation and warmth. Full tarp set in there. Spare spoon. So I need to access what I need through the clamshell, unless of course I want to start taking the stove apart. Top of the clamshell is all the sundries and change of clothing, and that is it. That's its size. It could go smaller. That's including some of my sundries. Rest all hammock and insulation kit. So if I come back here to the tarp bag, I have the suspension, which is a daisy, which I'm going to put around the trees now, and connect the hammock, which is all pre-attached to the quilt, up to this suspension here. So that is the next job. Then it looks like it's going to rain. I'm going to put the shelter up, and it's just a 3.5 by 3.5 meter DD tarp. It's not hooks out. Yeah, it's not the small, it's not big. I find it okay for this. Now, Onetigris do their own tarp for this, and I might even look into that. Anyway, I'm rabbiting. Let's fit it all out. Is 2 lots of air insulation, but I can further that air insulation with a reflective, which is in this pack here. Foam backed reflective. Usually I'd use something that is from a car windscreen, but this is by Highlander. Now my quilts have been overslung to the hammock. I could do with resetting it because it's got a twist in it, so that's not a problem. I can remove my quilts, and I need to put the hammock through that V pocket before the quilts are attached, overslung like that. You see, I have all the lines here for the quilt on top of the hammock, which is here at the bottom, oversling. I'll just check the other side. No problem at all, the other side there is overslung. Now a lot of people just clip on to the bottom here, and what happens is this quilt hangs, and I don't want it to hang. I want a nice tight seal around here, anywhere the wind and cold can get in. Okay for me. I might even tweak it a little bit in the night for my own personal preference. I can still tweak the ridge line here, so I know the straps aren't under unnecessary tension. I know the hammock isn't, but you can string it out a fair old bit, a bit flatter than this if you wanted, because I'm not doing the diagonal lay. Okay, so if you want to tune off at this point and start crying that you've got to do a diagonal lay in a hammock, now is the time to tune off and go watch someone else, because these quilts have been designed to fit a straight line sleep right down the ridge, cocking the leg either side, slinging yourself up one end or the other, and your back is completely flat. And the quilt for this, the Onetigris quilt, is that shaped like an iris, not a rectangle, which can be twisted to fit an asymmetrical lay. If you want an asymmetrical lay and still use Onetigris, they do a quilt called the Trekker. I don't know if they still do, but that is rectangle, and that quilt is for the diagonal lay. But in winter or the colder months like now, I don't like being so open. I like to be closed in with the quilt wrapped around both shoulders. Now, an iris shaped quilt like this is for a straight line hammock lay. And no, you're not like a banana. I hear loads of people say that because they get so upset if they see somebody else doing something different to themselves. And I get a lot in the comments, I'm hammock hanging wrong. Well, it's right for me. I've bought iris shaped quilts for a flat lay down a ridge, because I lay flat line down a ridge. Otherwise they wouldn't manufacture these quilts if there wasn't a need for them or a want for them, but they do, so there is. In hammock forums we have a saying, hang your own hang. It means what suits one may not suit another. No two people are the same. There's only YouTube where people really get upset seeing somebody else doing something different to themselves. It's bizarre. Now, another big complaint, and a lot of complaints as well, too many in my opinion, is that you want to see this in HD, in 4K. Well, of course you do. It costs a lot of money, these cameras, and I invest all my own money into the kit I buy, because I'm not donated the kit, I'm not sponsored, I have to buy it myself. There's where the money goes in this channel, for the kit you see every week being reviewed. It's all out of my own pocket, and you know, £1,000 camera and then the microphones and everything all adds up. So there is a GoFundMe, and if you can, go down into the link below and donate to that. And I also need to buy a smaller 5K camera, something like a GoPro, for the summer where all my kit has to be lightweight. But just sat in there just now, that is lovely and warm. That is lovely and warm. Tonight is going to be around 6 or 7 degrees, and I'm going to put the forecast up in the corner of the screen now. So that is tonight's forecast, you can see if you want to know. So it doesn't look like it's going to get amazingly cold, but I'm right at the temperature it needs to be just for this one winter quilt here. I've added the summer quilt and obviously the insulator there, because I'm a cold sleeper. But if this is nice tonight, I know it's winter ready. If it doesn't work above freeze point at 6 degrees, then I need to have a rethink. Maybe even get 2 of these winter quilts and lose the summer quilt. That's just one option. How am I going to get all this a little lighter? And it can be lightened if I leave the sleeping bag at home and just bring a softy suit instead of a 2 kilo sleeping bag, which is in here by Fexka. But I am not going to risk being hypothermic testing kit. Now I'm hoping to drop a quilt off that and eliminate the sleeping bag out of that, and that brings me, I think, somewhere to around 35 to 40 litres instead of the 90 I have here. So I know 2 quilts and a hammock is less than 3.5 kilos. I've got 2 kilos on the sleeping bag. We're up to 5.5 kilos. The tarp is over a kilo, so call it 6.5. The stove set has got to be best part of a kilo, 7.5 kilos. And I think they're the basics that you're going to need for a hammock hang. So 6.5, 7 kilos is not a lot. I do have all the down quilts as well, and a down quilt, I've got a 900 gram top quilt, and about the same for the under quilt. That's 1.8 kilos and 600 grams for the hammock, so I can reduce this a lot. But at the moment my down quilts aren't fit for winter, they're getting damp, and I do have a weather shield to go round it, and I might try that next week or the week after, and we'll go again with trying to keep my down quilts dry. So a base weight of 3.5 kilos delivered just for the quilts and the hammock. Sleeping bag 2 kilos. and I can lose that 2 kilos and swap it out for 500 grams of softy suit. If I knew it wasn't going to rain tonight, I wouldn't even bother putting the tarp up. And without the backlight on, the floodlight on the camera, it's getting dark. This is the same shot without the lighting on the camera. And we're in 1080p. There you go, got the light back on. And there's already somebody who's donated to the GoFundMe. And I don't know who you are yet, but thank you very, very much. You have kicked the ball rolling, and I'm hoping others will follow suit now. And then we can explore making the channel a lot better. Want to test these pants out tomorrow, waterproof pants. And these are lined. It sounds like it's a plastic bag in between the layers, because the morning dew saturates the bottom of my pants. Yeah, sure, I could go a lot lighter, but these are insulated, and I've only got my training pants on, just ordinary jog pants. Nice, lightweight. It's got an inner insulator. Add it to these here, and I've got warm legs for the night. That's all part of making lightweight wearables for the winter. Anyway, less rabbit, more work getting the tarp up. Okay, you're under the tarp and I'm very close to the ground here with the hammock. How I would be testing it for a winter. And that's fine. And I haven't got my trekking poles with me to push this tarp away. So I'm gonna get some sticks before I go to bed. That's my little night light. And it just hangs on the ridgeline here on the prusik. Now, I didn't dig this out my pack. I actually pack it away. Just like that. So it's always there. See if I can turn the main light off for you here. Okay, so that is it. And how it would look. Get that turned off or down. Then it'll flash off. That is how dark it is under here right now, which is why I got a light on the camera as well. Anyway, that does not leave the ridge line. It gets packed up with the hammock. Okay, it's going really dark now. It's not that late. You can still see the twinkling of the city lights a couple of miles away there. But it's been lashed out there to a stick just to widen the inside a little, and it's the same on the other side, slung pretty close to the ground. In winter I would have these doors shut because this is the direction the wind would be coming in, so I'll need to unhook this cord down here and start bringing at least one of the doors in, if not both. Just got to put this other side up on a stick, and then I can think about having something to eat. So it's only predicted to be around 6 degrees, but my fingers are starting to get a little chilled, and I've got my jacket in here for tonight. And other than that, this is all I'm wearing, a fleece and a t-shirt, but this jacket does keep me warm. So that is going on now, spare underwear in the bottom here, and that's about it for me regarding warmth. If it drops below 0 this winter and I'm using a similar setup, still using Onetigris, I'll upgrade the wearables. Oh, and I've got a hood in there as well, a little sleeping hood or a hat, and this is down. I think I might have that on now. I'm gonna get the stove out and get a hot drink on, just a cup of coffee or a hot juice, something like that. I think I'll have a coffee. I haven't had one for nearly an hour, and I'm getting withdrawal. Right, figure out how this little hood works. It's by Aegist, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's glossy on the inside, very gimp, my kind of thing. There's some condensation from my breath there. That's more like 5 degrees, but I am at a higher elevation than where we took the temperature reading from.